Hello, all. Welcome back. Happy Friday Eve. I cannot wait for this week to be over. Actually, I can't wait for this year to be over, but that's by the way. Welcome, everybody. Come in, pour up a drink, get ready for some mild custom. We have Charleston White again. Who can ever tell how you're going to react to some of the stuff he says? But I think he actually has sense about this topic. So we're going to be talking about Shannon Sharp and how he was warned ahead of time and getting your feedback. So join in the comments if you're watching on replay. Join in the comments as well, and I will reply. We'll have our long lost co host introduce himself, and then we will get started. And I'll add Rose in the interim. I see she entered.
I need that Jay-Z song. Allow me to reintroduce myself. What up? What up? Famous homie is back. I know I've been on a hiatus. I've been having a 12 round heavyweight bout with life, and life has been whooping my ass. But look, I got up off that canvas, and I threw a jab and a right hook, and I'm back. So you know what I'm saying. So it's good to be back on the show. What's up, y'all? What's up?
Rose,
Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. I barely made it.
baby, I barely made it. I had like a lot of life decisions to make today. I was deciding if I wanted to get my nail fixed. Ironic, right? My middle finger. I can't make this shit up. Or go to the Beyonce concert or do this show. And because the famous homie has actually been waiting to get back for several moons and Thursdays, you see what I chose.
Hey.
You got to follow your dreams. You got to make sacrifices. I would love to be at the Beyonce concert, but I would actually also love to be here. I actually like what I do. So let's get started. So for tonight's topic, I do not have somebody to do for Black History Month. That is only on Tuesdays. I need to minimize my work and my stress level. So we have a topic for tonight, and we are going to jump right in. But I did have a question. So for the hot topic, I do have a question. This is my question. Why is it a cliche for men to file for child support on women, but almost encouraged for a woman to do as soon as she has a baby, damn near even if she's still with the father? Like, why is that a cliche?
I mean, I think it's more of a gender thing. People are so stuck in the whole gender thing. Only certain things can the genders can do certain things. Like it's soft or non-masculine if a man, or sassy if a man filed child support. You know, with all these new damn words everybody using, if a man filed child support on a woman, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. If she is doing the same things that an absent male is doing, then she needs to be filed on too. Like, what's the problem? What's the issue? Like, she needs to be held accountable. Everybody has to be held accountable. When you lay down and have a child, we already know it takes two to have a child. You feel what I'm talking about? So if it's two people that make a child, two people got to take care of the child. So, yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get it.
I think it's just because they feel like it's a man and the man should be asking for help. But I feel the same way. Like, if a woman can do it and a man should be able to do it too. I don't feel like, I could see if he just being bitter, then yeah. But if he need help too and he raising the kids by himself, you should have to pay child support too. I don't think nothing is wrong with it.
I mean, I don't even think it got nothing to do with needing help. I think it's more of just
That's what I was going to say.
Both of us are liable to take care of the child. So whether you,
but some people would still do it by themselves. Like a man, I think most men probably would not ask if they.
And I think that's a whole problem. I don't think that they should.
I don't think that they would if they really could do it by themselves. I don't think men would, but if they need the help,
they don't. Not that they would, they don't. That's the question. Why is it a cliche? Because they don't. So here's my feedback. And I am a stepmom, and everybody I've dated since high school has kids. So I feel this way as the other woman on the outside. So I really don't get it why people with children that share somebody that has children thinks their children are different. But that's by the way. We'll talk about that later. I have never agreed with a man not properly taking care of his children. But here's what's proper to me, right? Let's say I have a baby right now. It's much different than we were when we were in our 20s. You guys was probably doing the pamp, whatever you could afford to do at that time, right? If I have a baby now and I decide I want my baby to go to a top preschool, have a nanny, do all of these things because that's what my income can afford, I really don't think it's fair to put those type of responsibilities on the other sex. So I would not expect, even my husband, I would not expect him to pay for some of the luxuries I want for the kid. Just like if he wanted to put him into sports, go handle it, do your thing. That kind of stuff is siloed from the requirements. So paying what's reasonable and customary, I think both parents should have to pay it. I think that they should head a lot of these things off at the beginning, like have the baby, get a paternity test, sign up for child support, because it needs to be determined in your area where you live. This is what daycare is going to cost. This is what the normal price is for the typical amount of diapers. It should be what's reasonable and customary. Split it down in the beginning, split it down the middle from the beginning, and then everything else is different. If you choose to go get a nice house or any of those things, child support shouldn't change because you're saying, well, they need to live here the same way that they live there. I don't agree with that part. I never ever have. If one of you is a millionaire and the other one isn't, that has nothing to do with the situation. If you can't afford to take care of the kid the same way, would you be comfortable with a judge saying, then I'm going to take the kid and give it to the one that makes the most? That's not
what
fair.
I've always
That's on
felt
my
like.
part.
Like they need to be with the more stable one, anyways. I don't think that that's fair.
But what justifies stable? Because my example that I gave, or do you mean a different example? Because if I want to live with my baby in a 1-bedroom apartment and I give my baby the bedroom, or me and my baby share the bedroom, what's not stable about that? There's a
No,
roof.
I'm saying
I work.
if they want more because they're saying that they want their child to have the same life as the other parent that has a better life, and they telling the judge, oh, I want more so the child can have the same life, then if I was the judge, I'd be like, well, go let them live with a more stable parent.
Yeah, I agree
If
with
you
that.
want
I
them to
agree.
have that life
Yes.
because you don't
Yes.
make them out, and I don't think that that's fair that they have to do that. So let them go live with
No,
that.
they should not have to pay for your lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's more of an integrity thing though. Like it's like if as a father, so let's say I was a millionaire and you know my kids didn't live with me, they lived with the woman and she was a regular working woman, didn't regular average salary type shit. I would definitely feel the need. I'm not saying to provide the same life, but I would definitely want to give a little more because I got it. That's my child. Like I don't give a damn about. A lot of men get caught up on, oh man, what is she spending the money on her nails and feet? And that's another for me. And to me, I don't have an issue with that because when you're a mom and you're raising a kid, you have so much that you have to do. You have so much responsibility. That's part of it. That's your self-care. You have to feel like a woman. You got to feel like something.
Right.
I'm taking care of these kids. I got to feel like something too. So that's part of the whole package. You don't get caught up in what she's spending the money on. You get caught up on, I provided. I gave this amount of money. I did my part. Don't worry about what the fuck they spend, what the hell they spending the money on. Like, I think a lot of people get caught up on the wrong stuff. So I think it's more of an integrity thing and how you want to be as a man or as a woman. Like, I think, you should want your kid to live a nice life. And even if it's not the kid only gets to live nice with you. I think that's a little selfish. And just in my opinion, I think it's a little selfish.
I think it is. So the reason why I asked and I answered the way that I did as a woman is because the actual story that I was looking at, the man is the one who was filing for child support. He was filing for it because the woman had a better job and began to get different things in life. But simultaneously, the way that they started out, they started out with her not having any family or anything, teen parents. She went to live with him and his family. He had the upper hand at that point. He had a car, he had everything. He put her and that baby out. That girl got out there and grinded, and she was getting like $400 in child support. She grinded 8 years later. She still was only getting $400 for child support. But by this time, she's graduated college due to the social media platform. She built all of these things. The dad never worked and still couldn't make it to certain things. Now that she's making, he sees she get this brand deal, that brand deal. He was like, I don't think it's fair my baby should, or our son should live the same lifestyle over here. He even moved 2 blocks from her. Now, why would you do that if you couldn't afford it? Why wouldn't you stay in a 2-bedroom? So you got a girl pregnant, moved 2 houses away, and he literally said, well, our son had to sleep on the couch the other night because the AC went out. I need to get my AC fixed. My house should be just like hers. And she had just came back from Hawaii and everything. But did you hear how I said the other girl started out with nothing? You literally have both your parents, was able to live at home. You put her and your baby out. She made something of herself. You did nothing simultaneously and then turned around and filed for child support. The
But how
cliche
can he
part,
file for child support? Do he have the
because she
child?
makes more money.
No, does he have custody of the child?
You don't have to have custody. They
You
each
know?
share. They each take care of the
I
baby.
didn't know
It's
that. I
whoever
thought you
makes
got to
more.
have custody of them to get child support.
That's
Not
what
no.
that's where it's flawed at. Then that's a flawed part of it. Part of it, like you shouldn't
What
be
state
able
is
to.
this in? This is in California?
Um,
Right.
they're in a Midwest state, but they have 50-50.
That's what. So just
Yeah,
because
even if you had 50-50, I didn't think that you would. That's weird. I ain't never
If
heard that.
one parent makes more, the law is written because a child support was initially because women could not work and do all of these things. So when the man left, you had to pay child support because we couldn't do certain things, and you should not leave your family without taking care of your family. That's what child support was for. Now we have it where women can work. So it's the same, just like when you see these basketball players and stuff. Once they make it to making all of this money, the girl goes back and asks for more. If he signs another contract, she goes back and asks for more. If he get a bonus, she goes back and asks for more. Well, it's men
But
that
I
do it
didn't
too.
know that they could get it if they don't have like full custody. I never knew that a parent could ask for child support if y'all got 50-50
If you're
custody.
not living the same lifestyle, that's why I say it's flawed. If you missing that whole part.
Because I didn't know
That
you could. I
statement,
didn't know that you could do that.
yeah, that statement depicts everything. Why do you think these famous people keep getting hit? Because these girls are not broke. They have
I mean,
their own stuff.
But the
to a
girls
certain,
have custody. But most of these girls got full custody of the kids too.
but to a
Not
certain
everyone.
extent, like I get it, but I think it should be capped somehow. Like in that situation, like parents got to start, people got to start being mature and having conversations. Like let's say
In Texas, it is. In Texas, it is capped. I think you can't get more than 3,000, no matter how much you make. Texas is capped.
yeah, I mean
Go ahead,
just
Grandma.
if your kid if you're wealthy and your kid is living with the other parent and the mom comes at you like, hey, our daughter has a passion for dance and she's really really good and this is her
Yeah,
thing, um you you should be able to get that money from your children's
Yeah.
absolutely,
father.
Mhm.
absolutely.
School, like
Yeah,
let's do it together. I could pay this amount but you make more, so maybe you can pay a little more. You ain't got to pay it directly to me, you could just pay the dance people. It's
yeah,
Exactly.
shit
absolutely,
like that should be
absolutely.
able to be worked out with a conversation. But people are so in their feelings when this shit happens that they
And
don't want to
greedy.
talk. Yeah, and greedy and selfish that they don't want to
Yeah,
talk about this shit. And it should
yeah.
always be in the best interest of the child. That's what it boils down to. And sometimes people forget about the child, and it should always be in the best interest of the child.
I agree 900%. But just like don't penalize me because I'm doing better than you. Absolutely not. I just don't agree with that. And so Exhibits X came back and she's asking for more child support. She says she needed, I can't remember the amount. I think it was 37K a month because she can't afford to buy um oh, she can't afford to buy labeled stuff right now.
It don't cost that no 37,000 a month.
So this is where I say
Crazy.
I agree with y'all. We all agree. And what we are saying about lifestyle, Ron gave the perfect example. If the
Crazy.
child wants to be in something and I make all this money, it's nothing. Here you go. I probably spend that at the bar. Are y'all fucking retarded? Go ahead
Right.
and do it. Because guess what? If I were to drop this child off with you, you're going to have to hire a nanny because I'm the one running around, getting the child there, bringing the child home, doing all of this stuff. And I'm not saying all the way down to gas money, which by the way, I've heard some people do, but stuff like that is normal. But that going back saying I need a whole 20,000, and a lot of judges, is starting to get irritated. I just heard one 2 days ago, and she was like, the men have to pay for, listen, y'all, for a 1-year-old, 1.5-year-old, and a 6-month-old. The baby is already in private school and it's $1,800 a month. That's number one. The wife works part-time at his business, and then she has a nanny. She says she's divorcing him, but wants to stay on the same street because her children are accustomed to a particular lifestyle. They're 1.5 and 6 months. That judge made him pay $6,800 a month. But the house that it was the calculation. It's the way the fucking calculation went. And he admitted to paying for those two things I just named. So that automatically went on top. But she said, I'm not ordering this man for you to pay to have a house down the street. I'm not doing that. And you saying that you work part-time? She said, well, what if it takes me a long time to find a job, like a year? She said, if you don't find a job in less than a year, I'm going to assume that you're penalizing him and punishing him. And I'll see you back in court, and I'm taking that money away. Maybe that'll help you move a little bit faster. $6,800 a month for 2 kids that's not even 2 and already in private school for $1,800. Ooh, Nelly.
You know, another problem I have with that, I think, so you had a baby 6 months ago with this man.
Yeah.
How do you want a divorce? I think you shouldn't be
I
able to
think
get a
he's
divorce.
cheating.
I don't think you should be able to get one at that. Like, it looks like you have a false motive. It looks like if you just divorced after 6 months after having a child, you knew he wasn't shit before having 6 months before having a child. You knew or whatever it was. You knew he was.
She
doing
don't
that.
have no proof. She just said she think he was cheating. I don't believe her, brother. I think it's a motive.
Me neither. That's what I'm saying. Like, you looking real suspect when you try to divorce somebody 6 months after having their baby. That's weird as hell. Looks like that you had a plan to try to come up and get some bread because you wanted to get some bread. Like you was in it for that. You shouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't even grant a divorce if you come at me 6 months. No, I'd be like, go work that shit out. Get at me in about a year.
Some judges make you. Some judges make you.
Go work it out.
I think so.
If you can't get along in the next 2 years, fine, come back and talk to me. But go spend some time working that shit out. Go get over postpartum. Go get through postpartum. Go get clear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and come back to me and talk to me.
Right. Because that assumption, she didn't have no complaints about him. She goes to brunches. He got her a nanny. If you're at home mom, how do you need a nanny? If you're at home mom, how are you already saying in advance it's going to take me a while to find a job? How? He's still paying for you to have a nanny, and you saying you're not going to work at the business no more or nothing. So.
You know what? If you're a stay-home mom and you ask for a nanny, that means your ass is cheating. You want a nanny so you can go cheat. That's what you do. You cheat. Because what do you need a nanny for?
You don't need a nanny. I think you can have somebody come over and babysit once in a while because that's a lot. Being a stay.
Of course.
Yeah, that's different.
But you don't need no nanny, but you don't need a nanny at all.
Right. A nanny on the payroll. She got a real nanny.
A nanny. Like, girl, what are you doing then unless you're doing something at home, a remote job at home? I can see you saying you need a nanny.
Right.
He says she likes to go to brunches with her friends. And like she said, we are accustomed to this lifestyle. How is your 6-month-old accustomed to a lifestyle? Why is the 18-month-old in an $1,800 a month private school?
Why are they in school? He's in school at all. He don't even know how to say Google Gaga yet. Like, what the fuck isn't he in school for?
So you got a nanny and school. So when are the kids actually at home?
That's what I'm saying. You don't.
And I don't even know what private school you got for like you said, for an 18-month-old. What daycare you mean? Because you ain't in no school.
It was private school. They had to prove it to the judge. It was really private school. So,
but 18 months.
They said that I don't know. They said that the school is one of those that start at one age and goes all the way up. It goes all the way to the 12th grade. One of those schools were all the grades.
It probably is a private school, but that shit is daycare. You ain't in school at 18.
You mean the daycare part of the school?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't even think it could go to Head Start by then. I don't know.
You can't even do Head Start until you 3.
Well, we don't have privilege, so maybe that's just something.
I'm like, you can't even do Head Start until you 3.
I'm just saying, no, it must be out there.
You gotta be 3 and potty trained. Like,
he
come on now.
He didn't deny it. So the child is in the school. So yeah. So we'll see how that turns out. I have my reminder for that one set to remind me, because that person that does the live in court, they show these are live cases in court. So he always does the when they go back. So we will see. So Mr. Shannon Sharp.
Shay.
Anybody want to give a brief summary of Mr. Shay Shay, and then we will play a clip? Or you want to play the clip?
Just play the clip.
Okay, go ahead and play.
I'll start with the one. I'll start with the one from Charleston because he actually made sense. But here we go.
Conversation. It sounds like a setup, but if you sit back and look at the overall situation, you say this ain't no setup. This is a nigga who been in the league and been amongst elite blacks and white people for most of his life. He live in a white community. He been around white people for over 30 years. Boy got a thing for white pussy. He like young white pussy. He really wanna fuck a 17-year-old, but he can't. He fuck a 18-year-old or 20-year-old. So here it is, he at the gym working out. He's showing up at the gym with them big old black legs, that big old dick print showing in them sweatpants, squatting, sweating out his ass with them big old muscles. Now here it is, this little white girl over there on the treadmill. They making eye contact. Who set that up? Who put her there? Who put him there? And who knew they was gonna be attracted to each other to start fucking? Who set that up? Now, if you watch his interview and you sit back and listen to him and Ocho Cinco talk, and he talk about what he do and what he don't do, well, you see he a weenie with the women. He really mean to women. You sit back, man, I don't do this, I don't do nah, man, you mean to women. Nigga, you ain't no Matt. You ain't no nigga, you don't even know how to sweet talk women. So you see he really a weenie to women. He just got a big old black dick with the big old muscle.
I could barely hear it. Could y'all barely hear it?
Yeah, that's why we both over there like that.
Let me play. Me too. Let me play it on my phone, guys. Okay.
Who been in the league and been amongst elite blacks and white people for most of his life. He live in a white community. He been around white people for over 30 years. Boy got a thing for white pussy. He like young white pussy. He really want to fuck a 17-year-old, but he can't. He fuck a 18-year-old or 20-year-old. So here it is, he at the gym working out. He's showing up at the gym with them big old black legs, that big old dick print showing in them sweatpants, squatting, sweating out his ass with them big old muscles. Now here it is, this little white girl over there on the treadmill. They making eye contact. Who set that up? Who put her there? Who put him there? And who knew they was gonna be attracted to each other to start fucking? Who set that up? Now, if you watch his interview and you sit back and listen to him and Ocho Cinco talk, and he talk about what he do and what he don't do, well, you see he a weenie with the women. He really mean to women. You sit back, man, I don't do this, I don't do nah, man, you mean to women, nigga. You ain't no Matt. You ain't no nigga. You real, you know how sweet talk women. So you see, he really a weenie to women. He just got a big old black dick with the big old muscles. But he's not a charming man. You see, man, he mean, nigga, authoritative, and he regimented. Yeah, no, he's not appealing. So the white girl just playing off the big black dick, the big black cock. He ain't handsome. He ain't the handsomest big black nigga in the world. And he look like a gorilla. Big black gorilla, silverback.
Gorilla.
So she figured she get this big black dick, but in the process of getting this big old black dick, he mean fucking her. I'm gonna choke you when I see you tomorrow. Man, nigga, just fuck her. That's all. Yeah, this is baby. You try to. So she don't want to be treated like a grown woman. She just wants this big old black dick and let her be irresponsible. He trying to make her responsible and all that other stuff. Now, ain't nobody set that up. Man, that nigga, yeah, he just shoved that big old black dick.
So that's a summary of what's happening. He's being sued because he messed with somebody that was 2 years old. Now, mind you, Monique just told him in her interview, leave these young girls alone, get you a mature woman that's going to cook for you, that's going to do this, that's going to do that. Now, interestingly enough, Monique started with the age of 26. Lo and behold, he got some young girl. Me personally, I'll share my part on the body part. Several ways to break this down. I'm sure we all have something to say. I will keep it short. I find it a little disturbing when very grown men want somebody that's that young. And it's to me, is based on how they look. She looks like a little girl. Like she doesn't look fully developed at that age. So that's a really big problem for me as it relates to men. Yes, she is legal, but it makes me wonder, like, why are you looking at somebody that looks that young and behaves that young as established as you are? So that's my first problem with the whole ordeal. Although it's illegal, guys can go ahead. We'll break it down. What do you think about him going for somebody that age?
I always say that I feel like men that mess with young girls that age, they just want to be in control because you don't have anything in common. You're 51 or whatever he was, 52 back then, and she was 19. It's nothing you have in common with a 19-year-old. You just want to be in charge of her and let you want to be in control, period, point blank. And like you said, she still looked like a little girl. Now I could see if she was one of these girls, because some of these girls now look grown. They don't
Yes.
even look 19.
Yes.
They look older than us. But her, she looks like a young little white girl. So I don't know
Yeah.
what he's seen in her at all. I don't get it, but I always say it like that. And it don't have nothing to do with her being white. If a
No, I don't
black
care
man
what
was
color she is.
yeah,
If
it
she
don't
looks
matter
like
what
young,
race
yeah.
they are. When I see grown men like that messing with young girls like that, they have a motive behind it. That's somebody they want to be in charge of because they know they can mold and do everything. They're going to do everything that they say because it's a money thing. He led her with money. Like he's saying it was because he big and black and his stuff. It's because he
He
had
bought
money.
her.
She's saying that
Right.
she didn't know who he was. You knew, even if you didn't know who he was when you first seen him in the
You knew he was
and
established.
yeah, but even if she didn't know that, when he told you what his name was, I'm pretty sure you went home and Googled him. So you can't even say that, girl. Like that was a money grab from the get-go. And he got everything he deserved. He had too
Okay,
many red
stop
flags.
right there. Stop right there.
Look, I'm like,
Okay,
he had too many red
right.
flags.
Yeah, you be going in. Stop right there. We said one part. Okay. This is really passionate. First, as a woman, because you think about other little girls, and this pedo stuff is it's not cool. It's not. And then second, you're disturbing, sir. And you talk about black women. So go ahead, brother.
I've never been the biggest Shay Shay fan because of how he does that. Like I don't have a problem with people, being attracted to whoever they want to be attracted to, but I get annoyed when black men down black women in the process. Like you don't gotta say bad stuff about black women or because you like white girls or you like Mexican girls. You don't gotta down the black. You could leave them out of it. That's what I have a problem with. So, when he said that, that just turns me off about him. But like you said, Monique's interview on Club Shay Shay is aging like fine wine because she literally warned him, bro, like, what are you doing? And he up here just giggling. like Rose said, it's a control thing, but it's also two things. If a man, if he didn't get none in high school like that, or if he did, it's one or the other.
Yeah.
But y'all don't really think he did. Don't y'all think he was a football player in high school?
Well, but it don't matter. If you a dork, you a dork.
It don't matter.
You a dork,
Yeah.
you a dork. Like, it don't matter if you a lame. Like Kendrick said, once a lame, you a lame. You a lame. It don't matter if you're a football player or not. So if he was on a side where he didn't get none, he felt that he was missing something. So he wants to go back and read. A lot of people want to live their
part of his brain is stuck back there.
Yes, they want to live their second childhood and say,
I think so.
I can go get some young ones now. Or even if he did get it, he misses it. He like, man, I want to go back to that. So it's either on either side of the spectrum on that one. And I think he's 50 something years old. I mean, as your age creeps up, it should be a cap. If you're 55 years old, you shouldn't be trying to mess with nobody under 40. Like,
we talked about that before, the age brackets that actually go together.
15 years is cool, even if you have to push it. And I still think 35 is just too young, because at 55, you know, I used to know a couple that was this dude was 55 and the woman was like 32, and I used to be like that's weird. Like
You pushing it.
you guys don't have nothing in common. Like you're old and you want to sit down, and she wants to get out and do stuff.
Right.
You don't have the stamina she has. So I think like it's just what are you there for? So now about him, you know, choking, you know, we heard the audio clip of him talking about he gonna choke her and the rape allegations. That's what happens when you're it's a problem when you're 55. In my opinion, you're 55 and you're still out there, you know, trying to be this young single person. Like, go get a wife. Like, what are
She
you
should not be
doing?
messing with an old man, correct?
But
susceptible
white people
to get in
parents
trouble.
let them.
Yeah,
But
that's
so,
true.
but if you're going to let them, then let them all the way. That's
Right.
my concern with it, because on the legal side, see, this is all personal, and she said it out of her mouth. So for me, it kind of reminds me exactly the way Cassie kind of brought it out. She literally said certain things that should have been important, but they weren't, because the visualization of what an older person is doing to a younger person kind of trumped that in everybody's heart. Plus, then once we saw the video of the hands getting put on, it was just
It was
it was done. It was done after that.
But the thing I'm saying is with
I'm
the
not
white.
finished. Wait 1 second.
Okay.
1 second. Because you know I will forget, like I just did. Oh,
Sorry.
it being girl, you know, I'm trying to do this and this and this at the same time. So let me finish. With the age thing, okay, her father let her do it. You're right. Because so back to the comments. Number one, let's read them. She knew who he was. She did.
Exactly.
There's something in there that was said that she discussed it with her father. So that's number one. Let's just remember that. Number two, she should not be messing with an older man. No, she shouldn't, because it's control should be on both sides. You should be saying no because it's out of your range, something you shouldn't be doing, and the other person shouldn't be coming for you. You are at that age where you have enough sense to at least say no, because no means no, right? And then last comment was, and he has text with her in writing. Right. So that's the other thing. These people want to play grown. That's what I was trying to get to. These people want to play grown and do all of these things and act grown. See, I had sex at 13. I don't take any of it back. I still feel the same way today that I felt then. I don't feel like anybody pressured me. I don't feel any of those things. I take accountability because I wanted to. I really did it because I wanted to. I don't like it when people, what in the last couple of years we've been hearing all of this, everybody is approved if you're not going to those parties and BDSM, all these things that we was like, how do you even think of this shit? We've done shows. I'm talking about us. Like, that's a little much. Why are you doing that? Clearly, that was their type of relationship. Yes, because he says it so freely. I basically, no, he told Monique, I don't have to do all of that with these women. I just get what I want, blah, blah, blah. You knew that, which is why you were offered an NDA. And Ro, didn't you say she didn't sign the NDA?
He didn't
and
sign.
So that's when we
every woman that he deals with has to sign an NDA, and she told him that she wasn't. Right.
So why would you move on? But I don't think it's fair for her to get to sue, because when she came out with this, my last sentence, what she came out with first and said was, I heard the recording of him with that other girl and realized he was cheating on me, and it made me mad. So now I'm doing this. But all of her allegations came before that. The fact that she said that, nothing else should have happened after that. That is not fair. She literally told us upright and up front. But because she's this color and then second a woman, then everything else was ignored. And I don't think that's fair, because I care about my brothers, cousins, uncles that women could do this to. And I'm done. That's crazy.
I was saying that white people let their white daughters date black men if they're rich. If they're rich, they let them date them. If they're not, they can't deal with them. Long as they're on their way. And like I said, she said she didn't know who he was. As soon as he slid her that number, she looked him up and told her daddy, this is who it is. You ain't signing no NDA. This is a money grab from the beginning. You could tell on the video, I mean, the recordings and everything, that it was role play. She sounded like she on the yellow bus. Like, it was too many red flags. Like, her asking them questions. If I was a dude, I would have been like, I will call you back, because the way she was talking, it sounds suspect. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even feel sorry for Shannon Sharp. Now, I will say that's just like, well, it ain't off the subject, but it kind of is. P. Diddy with Carisha. Even though she was almost 30, it's still a big ass age gap. Like, what do you see in this young girl? You got all these fun. You could have messed with that girl mama. Her mama fine. So it's like, why you want to mess with the daughter when the mama is damn near finer than the daughter? But you want to mess with this young girl. It's like it's a control. Yes, a control thing. And just think, Carisha still had money, so it's not like I can see P. Diddy messing with her because Carisha still got something to lose. That white girl ain't had shit to lose. You should never mess with somebody that don't got shit to lose when you that high up. You got that much money. You need to be messing with somebody in your tax bracket or something that got something to lose. You should never.
Or at least do it where it makes sense, bro.
You
Go ahead.
what?
I think that all of that stuff you should do in marriage. Go ahead, brother.
I think Charleston White, he was focusing on Shannon Sharp's meat a little bit too much for me. He said,
God, did anybody else notice that?
He said,
it don't God. That's why I said I don't think it had nothing to do with his private part. It was because that man was rich. It ain't have nothing to do with that.
But why did he keep saying that so much, brother? What do that mean?
His is probably little.
He was focused on his meat way too much. I'm like, bro, why you gotta keep saying big, black, big? Like, why? We don't. Okay, we heard you. But
that's probably what the white girls be saying, though.
But I think for a man that age, it's the opposite sometimes. The reason why they go so young because they probably got a little, dang, you know what I'm saying? And grown women to call you out on that shit, and young girls, they probably will too, but sometimes they won't. They don't know no better sometimes.
Not if she getting paid. She gonna take that little stuff with a smile.
That's what I'm saying. That's
what he's saying.
Yeah.
But a grown woman gonna be like,
I don't think his stuff is
shit away from me, like, bro. You know,
they don't have.
I don't think that they have the maturity for an older woman either.
No,
I think
they
it's
just
easier.
Want to be in charge.
I don't even think it's that they want to be in charge. I don't. I think it's because some of them are saying what the answer is. And to be fair, how we ask men to listen to us, and if I say this is what it is for me, then that's what it is for me. A lot of them just say, and he specifically said in the interview with Monique, I don't want to go through all that. I don't want to put up with all of that. I just want to do what I want to do.
Yeah,
and that's it. I think
still do it with an older woman.
The simplicity of it all.
Do it with an older
woman. Just think, bro, if I brag to you about something that I've experienced that you've never experienced, you can't tell me it's wrong. You can't tell me that it's lacking. It's exciting to you. It's all of those things. You're getting the fulfillment that you want. You don't want a conversation. You want somebody to talk to that will admire, appreciate, think it's wonderful, can't tell you it's wrong because they haven't experienced it yet or anything close. He said
you can do that if you getting paid. I can do that. I'll listen to whatever you say, sir. I'll sign.
Well, I doubt it. Your mouth is out of control.
If I'm getting paid, I'll listen.
Eventually, you're gonna be like, I don't give a damn how much money you paying me, because if that was the truth, most of y'all wouldn't be cutting up the way y'all do at work. We'd be like, oh my God, I got this job. 2 seconds later, you don't pay me enough for this shit.
But that's a whole different tax bracket.
No, it's not. It's the same mentality. Your mentality follows you wherever you go. I wish y'all.
You ain't gonna listen to shit. Hell no.
Please. She'll be fine for a little while. As soon as she stack her money, or she gonna be like, "Cause nigga, you can go."
I'm like, our contract has ended.
You gonna void that damn contract. You gonna shred.
But I still feel like I don't know. And remember, Cat Williams even told him too. Remember,
Cat Williams? I couldn't find that one.
Williams was like, he don't trust white women. He was like, I had a white. He said, I don't trust white women. He was like, I had a white woman come up to me and tell me that my dog was cute. I ran off and I started running away from her. It's like, I don't trust. He was like, I don't trust white women. He was like, they could put. He said they will take your career down in 2 weeks. That was his exact word.
He
was
did.
Like, I don't trust white women. And you had too many signs. You had Cat Williams tell you that, then you had Monique tell you that. But it's just like, I just don't get it. What do that? I don't get it. But hopefully he learned his lessons from this, because you keep on messing with these white women. You probably never had a black woman, and you.
I don't think so.
The question is,
I don't know what it is.
Why are you 55 and single? That's like,
That's what
have you heard the things that he say that he won't deal with women?
Yes, I have, and that's why I don't like him, because
that's why he's single. That's why. That's
what
why
he
he's
say?
single.
But it's
it
like
be off the chain. Like a woman can't do a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. Like it's unrealistic. Even Chad be like,
oh, good one. Ron, as a male, what are some of the things you've heard him say that you think are even unrealistic?
It's unrealistic.
To be honest, I don't remember. I remember hearing him saying it, and I was disgusted in the moment. I just can't remember exactly what he said.
It's not even worth
retaining. I can't even
remember
all the stuff he was saying either. I know he was saying that they can't boo-boo at his house. They can't fart. Like all, even if they live together, he was like that. She need to wait till he leave. That he was saying, even him, he said he brushed his teeth like 10 times a day. He take like 5, like it's out of control.
Oh, that's why he's single then. He has a mental disorder that he hasn't gotten taken care of.
When he says the things, you'll be like, are you serious? He was saying that but some of the
ain't
stuff
he the one to get off elevators? If a woman get on, he get off and then get back on and stuff.
Weird.
Oh, guys, maybe something happened and he has a real.
He did say something happened. He said when he was in college that he got set up 2 times. He said one time when he was in college, he went to a girl house. He already not famous, but he a famous football player in college. So people knew who he was already. And he said he went to the girl's house and he asked her, did she have a boyfriend? And she said no. He was like, they was in a room. He took his jewelry off, all this stuff. And he said her boyfriend came and his friends and they robbed him. But the man said, oh, you what I don't know what they was calling them back then. Say, Shay, you whoopty whoop whoop. I know who you are. I'm not mad at you. It's her fault. But they still robbed him. And he said it happened again. And he said, so that's why he don't even go to women's house. They have to come to his house. And that's probably why he moves certain ways. But
so that's why Charleston said he has no play then. Because how did you get set up, period? That's number one. And then you got set up more than once. I don't care. I'm not getting bro, you be so interesting. Your normal instinct should tell you that I'm going to be somebody I need to, or I'm a human. I need to protect myself.
But
this is some girl.
In the days, it's not like how it is now. I would think now.
Don't give a fuck. Back in the days, I didn't do these things.
But this is a man. This is a man.
Ron, would you do that? Like some girl you just met. You finna go over there with all your jewelry on, take all the shit off, and get that comfortable.
At 18, 19.
I'm not going over her house with all that jewelry on
in the first place. I don't give
a
fuck. I wouldn't do junior high.
Not now, not your age now. When you were 18, 19, you still have the mentality that you have now.
Bro, do you know I didn't even take my purse out of the car sometimes? And I wouldn't put it in the car in the trunk when I got there.
We're talking about a man.
They should have more sense.
We mature way faster.
But Ron already answered the question and said no.
Because that's like that's street smarts right there. Like,
thank you.
Where we're from.
But he didn't have street smarts. Look where he grew up. He was in a rural area in Georgia. He used the bathroom outside still. He didn't have no street smarts. Yeah. I seen his house where he lived.
To me, it's common sense.
I mean,
it's common sense.
It's certain like street smarts. If you don't got the street smarts, maybe you
I don't think he had street smarts.
It's simple. It's simple stuff especially when you're that age and you're young. Let's say you got paid and you got your check back then. Everybody didn't. At least I didn't always keep my money in the bank when I was 18, 19 years old. I would ride around with cash, but I knew that if I was pulling some cash out, to fold it with the $1 bill on the outside and don't be showing the big bill when I pull my cash out. They seeing singles and not hundreds. That's a street smart thing that you don't have if you've never been taught that or if you've never been around that. So no,
and just think he didn't. They didn't grow up like that. I'm telling you, I seen a house and they was in high school.
Did you grow up with them? Because because you're in that particular space don't mean all of that don't mean nothing. My family is from the country. Certain things you just know, because guess what? Even if you in the country, you have to get from point A to point B. Back then, it was more things along the lines of being treated a certain way because you're Black and in that area. So you would do certain protective measures. How did you leave yourself so wide open more than one time? I'm not saying the first time.
He said it happened 2 times, and he said after that was it. So he said that's why he moved the way he moved now, but it didn't make sense. Right? He didn't have street smarts. I'm telling you, he was stupid.
That was it.
Apparently he
and
was.
He's still stupid.
I'm not.
Apparently he is.
The only way, guys, when you go over there, be around a female with a lot of jewelry, you try to floss and make it seem like you got a certain. But when you going over her house, you already got her, nigga. You don't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta
look how these little young YNs do now with all their money and all that stuff. So I'm just saying, a young person, they're not.
Well, the young ones now can't be compared to nobody else. They in a class of their own because really social media is telling them to do this shit. Yeah, they in a whole class.
But I still feel like young men at 18, our 18 is way more mature than a man's 18 when we're the same age. We're still way more mature than them. I'm
not even talking about maturity. I'm talking about common sense. I just don't understand. And granted, some people will have it, some will not. But I think that is really interesting that it's gotten him all the way to this point, because you're 55 now. And to your point, a deaf mouse could hear when that girl was talking. Even if y'all do role play, he got frustrated. So you must have known something was wrong. So instead of either one, continuing and making some sort of comment saying, oh, you don't feel like role playing tonight, or something to cover yourself, you get angry and get frustrated and throw a tantrum. That's crazy to me. You could tell that the conversation was different. How you still didn't say nothing?
I don't even know how he didn't hear that. That's why I was like, why didn't he hang up?
He don't got no smarts at all.
That's what I'm saying. He don't have no street smarts. He don't got no common sense.
That was like a clickbait. Like, she up here she sounding suspect as shit.
She sounds suspect. She sounds like she should be on the yellow bus. It ain't no way in this world. If I was on 3-way or something, I would have been like, nigga, hang up. Like, what are you?
Ron, what was you trying to say? Go ahead and finish.
Hang up the damn
phone. Go ahead and finish. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I just had to laugh because as I was saying it, I'm like, this nigga is dumb. Like, how do you sit here?
He's either dumb or arrogant. Right. I was thinking, okay, so like at first I was like, you can't be this arrogant that you really believe you above the program with everything going on right now. I would be like, oh, my P's and Q's in real life, like really, really bad if I was a black man and you're a black man knowing what you're doing. I would be on my P's and Q's. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. All that extra stuff aside from sex is all the other stuff that a woman can say externally. And then it's, oh my God, he hit me. But you guys do that all the time because y'all do whips and chains and whatever. And they could leave that part out, or they could use the age difference. I just be thinking about all of the factors that could come against me when doing something. And he literally thinks he's above it. We watched everybody tell this man to stop. And he's not paying attention to nothing going on, but talking about all of it.
He thought that, or he probably just thought she was a little young, white, dumb girl when she been playing your ass from the beginning.
It has to be some form of arrogance with that. Like, you have to be a little bit arrogant to think that, you're. I mean, when you got bread like that, and he going up, podcast going up, cognac selling out. Everybody was on his show. He at the top right now. You feel like you are kind of invincible type shit. Like, you have to. You get a sense of invincibility that nothing's gonna happen to you, or this ain't gonna happen, or that ain't gonna happen.
Think he's still not even the only one. Shaq and all them. Look at Shaq and them. Shaq don't mess with no older women. All his girlfriends.
Thank you for saying that. No, pause. Thank you for saying that. Do not interrupt me so I can remember and finish. I told you I ain't that smart tonight. Look, remember Tasha K put out an audio last month of Matt Barnes calling that Hollywood guy and saying, whatever it is we need to do, we want to get some information and we want to set him up, basically. How do we know that that's not what this was supposed to be about? We all heard that. Did y'all saw it? I was thinking about that. I've been meaning to say that to you, Ro. What is that?
He did.
It was something, I think they said Shaq was jealous that
he was mad at him for something that happened a while ago. Matt didn't get into detail because he was like, I don't want to get into detail. We'll catch you up. Basically, when you call back.
I think it was that $100 million contract that he was getting. I think it was that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think it was that because just think it all makes sense. Why would that girl sue him for $50 million? He wasn't even worth $50 million.
How did you know that 100 was coming?
Exactly. How did you know to sue for $50 million when the nigga wasn't even worth $50 million? I mean, $100 million at that time. I think he was worth like $15 million. Not only.
So they pulled the trigger too fast.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It don't make sense. So Shaq, you doing the same thing. But Shaq, at least he do mess with black girls. But Shaq, you still messing with young little girls too. Y'all all doing the same thing.
20-year-old ass.
Right. But what makes this really is a setup, because we literally saw it, and sometimes things be in plain sight and you skip over them because you get caught up in the fireworks. But we literally heard that before any of this came out, and now it's being swept under the rug. Nobody's talking about it that much no more, at all. How did that not get talked about? Only Tasha K. Tasha K.
It was more than Tasha K said it.
No, I mean kept going. Kept going.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
He probably did. Shaq probably paid everybody off.
He got loan paper, so he probably paying everybody like.
That's why I didn't understand why Shaq was jealous. Like, come on now, Shaq, you got you doing a lot of stuff too.
When you got paper, you get mad with somebody, get on your level or get up there where you want to be by yourself. Look at
everybody adored him for that. Everybody thought, Shaq is on everything. Shaq is on everything. Yeah. He don't want everybody to be on everything. He want to be the only Santa Claus. Is the only way this makes sense. Because why are you mad at this man? To your point, y'all not even crossing hairs. Why do you care that he's doing well after his career?
You guys are in two different lanes. What he do can't bother your paper, and what you do can't bother his paper. So why the hell are you that invested?
Shaq is worth $500 million, and you worried about
exactly
because sometimes power. Think about it. Crazy. Power is more than money for people that already have money, but power is a bigger deal. It's that ego. Ego is out of control. It's two things I never want anybody to be: jealous of me or scared of me, because you make stupid decisions when that happens. The comment said, but how dumb are they? She should have waited until he got it. I think the lawyer, it came out too fast, and it shouldn't have, unless they did it since he wouldn't get the money. Oh, to prevent him from getting the money, and then Shaq if Shaq get that contract, we know something.
But then that's what I'm saying, because she asked for, I'm looking right here. It says he was worth $14 million. That girl asked for $50 million before that even came out.
Right.
So it's like, but my thing still is, Shaq, why is you worried about somebody that makes $14 million and you're worth $500 million?
Greed. And everybody's talking about Shaq for the last 2 years. He don't want them to talk about him. He wants
and Shannon Sharp was gonna pay the girl off $10 million.
Yes. How would you guys have taken the $10 million? I would have taken the 10. Would have took the 10.
Your life is gonna be changed. Your life is set for the rest of your life with that 10 mil.
And you're young. You can pivot that part.
What?
I don't understand.
10 million, but you being greedy and saying you want 50. I don't even think she gonna get 50. I think that
she don't have 50.
I mean, she don't have 50 to get, but I don't think she gonna get nothing now.
I don't think so.
You should have took that 10 million and went off, girl. Like, you asking for more than Cassie did. The hell?
He ain't even got $50 billion. How the hell?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it was a setup.
I think it was a setup
that he didn't even have.
Yeah, once I remembered that Matt Barnes call that we heard with our own ears, and then thought about what that dude Hollywood started doing, or I don't know if I'm supposed to call him a girl or a guy, y'all. I don't know. I don't follow him or they.
I don't know
the pronoun. I don't know the pronoun.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't either. That's what I'm saying. I only know of the name and know that it's a male because it was the previous wardrobe person, stylist, something like that.
Oh, his stylist.
Yes, his stylist is who turned his back on him because he immediately left his stylist and went back with his old stylist. So his stylist is mad at him and he keep threatening to drop receipts. That's why Matt reached out to him to get information, right, about being gay or whatever.
Because remember they used to say that Shannon, that was his boyfriend.
That's why he let go of him right after he noticed he tried to clean up his own mess and make people stop saying that kind of stuff about him. That's why he fake leaked the tape of him doing it.
Him and Michelle. And
yeah.
then now another Michelle came out. We don't even know if that's her or not. That says she sued him. And I don't think she should be able to sue him either because you know your own husband with him. You knew exactly what you were doing.
Girl, but if she really did
be able to make it to the courthouse, like they shouldn't even be able to file the paperwork on these kind of things. Like, ma'am, you was cheating on your husband. You knew exactly what you were getting yourself into. Now you want some money. Please.
Oh, I love Shaq, but in that power of peeing on trees space, he doesn't play well with others. In that space, he doesn't play well with others. In every other space, the family space, all of that, everybody has amazing things to say about him. But a business person is different than a personal person. This is business for Shaq. And for some reason, because we heard that audio, and that was definitely Matt. He definitely said Shaq's name, and they definitely put out the proof. That wasn't no AI. It wasn't.
No, that was no AI at all.
What we do know about Shaquille O'Neal is he has a very large ego and he's very jealous. We could take it all the way back to the whole Shaq and Kobe feud. Everybody blamed Kobe for it. Shaq now takes accountability and said it was him. He realized his ego was the one that messed up him and Kobe. Shaq didn't let relinquish control of the team to the young bull, so he was jealous of him. He was jealous of Kobe and he sabotaged Kobe. Hence the reason why Shaq and Kobe broke up. So Shaq, this has always been Shaq. He's always been egotistical and always been an egomaniac. So Shaq, this is just who he is, and it's continuing after basketball. Now he's in the podcasting / media / entertainment side of things, and now he's doing it to people on that side.
Agreed. Once you put all that together, I was like, this is bigger than. I need to stop listening to this part because I need to start putting together some real things, your characteristics, things you've done, what we actually heard and know is true. And once I did that, I was like, I think Shannon is being set up, and I don't think that's right. I'm sorry.
Too, but he said he is being set up, but he put himself in that predicament because
then I mean all of us can. That's not fair. That's not fair.
He was still moving sloppy and quit messing
with
your
wife. You're 50.
No, you still need to do all of that. But if that's the case, then that could happen to anybody. Because
and even if he don't want a wife,
anybody that makes decisions like that, I wouldn't.
Even if Shaq didn't want a wife, and not Shaq, Shannon didn't want a wife. It's so many women out there that will be willing to just do it to you, and you pay them, and they leave you alone. Like if that's all.
Whatever the agreement.
Get a wife. You ain't got to worry about none of that.
I agree with what you're saying, Ron. At a certain, listen, this is what I believe, and I will end with this, and then you guys can say your piece. I personally believe when God puts you in a certain position, especially one of influence, and he blesses you and does all of those things, he does it so that you can properly care for your family. When you start moving selfish on your own, especially as a man, because you're not covering your home and protecting your home, i.e. letting something like this be able to take from that, God have to break you down and you're nothing and remind you he don't give a damn what your ego look like. You're not better than him and you don't deserve shit I gave to you. I gave it to you so that you would do what you were supposed to do with it. And since you didn't, now let me take it all away because you don't believe I can do what I said I could do. That's what I believe. So do I think that at some point you should stop doing stupid shit and build a family, become somebody your family can look up to and the community, because we're all looking at you. You could bring hope back to family. I don't care what the color the person is. Bring hope back to the family. And you still disrespecting women to your grave. That's my personal belief.
I think he should. I think this will make him learn his lesson. Now, if he gonna mess with black women again, I don't know. Because I didn't even know he had kids until a couple of weeks ago. I didn't know he had 3 daughters.
Yeah, that's why he had made that one comment about the weddings, and he will only spend, not only, his amount he would give for a wedding is $30,000 and figure out what to do with that because that's enough to get married. Because guess what? That also spoke to me when he was talking about that too, because I'm thinking you don't honor marriage. If you don't see the importance of marriage, because why are you pre-setting what you would spend for your daughter when what if the joy that you see on her heart and she's marrying a really good man makes you want to say the sky's the limit, you can have whatever you want. Why are you talking about it like that to even make your daughter think that? That's crazy. He don't talk good about marriage, about Black women, about family. I never hear him talk
that's
good
a
about
Black
that
daughter.
stuff.
I want to see what his baby
On top
mama.
of that, and on top of that, nigga, you gonna cap what you spend on your daughter's wedding, but I'm sure when you messing with these
30
young,
is not too much for a celebrity. Go
tricking
ahead.
more money off on the young, more than $30,000. So you could trick off this money on these other girls, but you can't give your daughter more than $30,000 budget for a wedding.
He told the
Brother,
girl
the first thing
25.
he offered her was boobies.
Yeah,
When he met her in the gym, if she won some contest, he was gonna get her
That's
boobies
30,000.
done. But
and then
you
the other
came to
one
her
too.
saying, I will pay you to be with
Yep.
me. That's the first thing you told her. So you
Yep.
literally, that's why I know, girl, you stop lying. It was a fair exchange from the beginning. You was dealing with him because he came and offering whole boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
knock it off. It
And
was
on
all
the thing,
money.
remember too, he was like he'd give her $25,000 for each cheek.
That's $50,000. So you mean to tell me a girl's cheek is worth more than
your daughter?
Got it.
Her wedding.
Got
Mhm.
it. Got it, Shay. Like I said, if you don't want to be going through this as an older ass man, you are older man that was an athlete, a pro athlete for 13, 14, 15 years. Then you were a college athlete before that. So for 20 years, okay, you have had your way with women. Okay, you have done a whole lot of what you wanted to do with women. At some point, do you not get tired of that shit? If you 55, get a fucking wife, and you don't got to worry about none of that. None of it.
You
don't
can
have
hang
to
from
worry about.
chandeliers. You can do whatever you want.
You go home, and you cool. You ain't got nothing to worry about. No lawsuits, nobody extorting you, paying nobody no chip, turn nobody's faucet water off. You ain't got to worry about none of those problems if you just get a damn wife at 55, 50 plus years old. Stop playing. You ain't young no more, man. You've had it all. You've had every shape and size and every manner that you wanted to have. Like, get a wife. Get a wife. Period.
Well, Rose, before you close out, let's play. Since Ron just said that, it's a minute long. I'm gonna go ahead and play what Monique said because that's exactly what Monique said and a couple of other people that's been trying to preach to him. It's a story in the Bible that says, or that my mom tells, it said that a man was out in the middle of the sea, and he couldn't get back, and God sent a boat. Then He sent a plane. Then He sent something else, and God said, the man asked, "Why won't you save me?" And He said, "I sent the boat, the plane, and this. Why didn't you take it?" Some of us get a lot of chances. God be telling us not to do stuff, what to do, and we don't listen. It's called intuition. This is crazy that it's lining up like this for God to show us who He is. Remember, we said we needed to see a talking bush and all of this stuff. Well, in today's form, I believe this is how God is showing us certain stuff. So this is what Monique said.
Oh, they talk to us. How this dating thing? Because it's Mo is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
Are you trying to say what you trying to say? Mo,
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at your.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me live my life.
Let me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I know.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get you an old out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Damn.
When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, listen, I need you want some money.
I love Monique.
So while black men complain about how we get on them, A lot of times we say it just like that, is that you just don't want to hear it, and you go tell the outside world we talk to y'all all kind of crazy. Now she cussed and did all of that, but look at the tone she said it in. At the very least, because y'all stop lying on us. Because when the shit hit the fan, you come back to us just like the Marvel guy, and you want us to talk
I was just
to
about to say Jonathan Majors.
because we don't talk to y'all like that. We just talk to you wanting better for you, so that stuff like this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
She literally said, how much more clear could it have gotten, y'all? Wouldn't, on the behind the scenes, wouldn't that have made your brain start thinking like,
Yes.
okay, I am doing too much. What I'm doing is vulnerable. It's not just sex. She is younger. She is Caucasian. Trump was just elected. Like, you don't think of none of that. Go ahead, Rose. And then Ron gonna close us out because Jesus.
Y'all need to think wisely when y'all messing with women. Think wisely, because this young ain't it. Like it. Think wisely. What you can lose. Think about what you can lose.
Facts. At the end of the day, I think once you start getting older, of course you want to make good decisions when you're young too, but when you get more excuses, man. Like at some point you gotta buckle down and lock in and say, what do I want out of life? I think you gotta put that other head to bed and make that other head go to sleep somewhere and start using this up here. Because like Monique said, at 55, you know, what's important to you at 55 ain't the same thing as what's important to you at 25. You want somebody that's gonna make you some smothered. She said them smothered turkey wings, boy. I start getting hungry. I'm like, hey, I can eat that. Where that lady at? But you know what I'm saying? Like that stuff is more important. Like, you know what I'm saying? Getting taken care of like that, you know, and of course reciprocating, but having a woman that's gonna take care of you, that's way more important than, you know, a 5 seconds of pleasure. So it's like at some point you gotta lose that other head and put it to bed and start using the one up here, because this happens. Why are you 55 playing, bro? You shouldn't even be in this position. You shouldn't even be like Monique, age, like fine wine. So fellas, you get older, stop playing. It's over. Let it go, dog. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Chill, settle down, get somebody that you could trust, and you ain't got to worry about none of this lawsuit stuff and losing none of your bread. If you want to stay, keep your bread in your pocket, start using your head. That's all I got. And thank y'all for watching tonight. It's good to be back on the show with, you know, Rose and Madam. They've been doing their thing, but back now. And we will see y'all next week. Make sure y'all tune in next week and give us some feedback in them comments when y'all go watch the episodes after. So, you know, the famous homie, we out of here, and we'll see y'all next week.
Good night. Y'all stay on for a second. Don't hang up. Hold on. Not y'all.